chiropractor to you. You know how every once in a while you hear about an idea and go, why didn't I think of that? This to me is, it seems so very obvious, but yet no one has come up with it until Dr. Todd Black, who joins me now. Chiropractor to you. Okay, so let me give you a scenario, and then you guys will say the same thing that I'm saying. You'll say, you know what, it does make sense. Okay, you've been in a car accident. They're saying you have to see a chiropractor. It's going to help you, and it will help you, but you're going, how am I going to get in and out of my car to visit a chiropractor? I can barely move. That's where you come in. Tell me about your idea and how you came up with it. First of all, welcome back to the show.
Good to be here, John.
Good to see you. Sorry about that. I jumped right in there.
Well, I started in chiropractic school. I didn't have a table. I didn't know how to work on people, and I really wanted to learn how, and I won a table at a raffle. And from then on, I would work on people in their apartments or my apartment. And one day I was working on someone who was moving out of their apartment, and we just pulled the table out in the U-Haul and started working on them. And I was like, wow, I could just take this to people's houses and work on them and save them all kinds of time if they've been in a car accident.
I want folks to know, though, how serious you take this, because, you know, obviously there's the medical degree for one, and then two, I said to him, I said, you know what, I'm feeling something here. Can you put me on the table? And you said no. Tell me why, because I think this is important.
Well, I think it's important because anytime a chiropractor is going to put their hands on somebody, they need to know what they're getting into for their sake and for the patient's sake, most of all. So there's always a very thorough examination that takes place prior to me putting my hands on someone and trying to do an adjustment of their neck or their back, especially if they've had trauma like in a car accident.
So with chiropractor to you, and let's do focus on car accidents, can they get the same professional treatment, you coming to their home? You bring all the equipment that's needed, right?
Exactly. Well, there's things like X-ray, which I have at my office. People can come to my office at 2623 West Broadway and access the X-ray system there, or we can send them to an outpatient facility and they just fill out papers and go get their X-rays then. But like I was saying one other time when we talked, anytime you get the personal attention of a one-on-one, and when someone sees you at their own, when you see someone at their own home and you can see how many stairs they have to climb and what their daily routine is, it gives you a much better insight into how you can help that patient.
Interesting. So you took it to another level. Not only is it the exam, but I can see your environment and how much movement you need. I think that's interesting. I think there's this misconception, or maybe you say it's true, that chiropractic adjustments and helping someone is painful.
No, it shouldn't be painful. First of all, there's all kinds of different ways to adjust somebody, so you can always pick one that's not as forceful as another. For example, this is a tool that I use called the activator instrument, and it just taps on the bones and moves them ever so slightly. They actually tested this in the vomit comet. You heard of the vomit comet?
No. Now what is this? No.
Well, they took it up into a plane and they created zero gravity, and that's when they adjusted the person's bone. They had a little needle in there. It was connected to like a machine that would register whether it moved or not. And anyway, that's just a little side thing. But here, let's check it out.
Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Okay.
And it adjusts so you can make it even lighter.
So all of this equipment is available, and you can bring it to their home.
Oh yeah, I mean that's portable. Obviously, this table that I have is portable. It folds up, and I carry it in and out of houses if I need to, and I deploy it in the bus as well.
So, Dr. Black, as a respected professional, we're taking a look at your bus that you bring. As a respected professional, tell me a little bit about the misconceptions that you hear, because I think it's important to point out you're not your grandfather's chiropractor. Things have evolved. Things have changed. Insurance covers chiropractor. They know that this helps. Talk about some of the things you hear that you go, this is not true. I mentioned the pain part, and you said, okay, that's not true. Tell me some other things that you hear from patients.
I find people either love chiropractors or they don't, and a lot of times it's based on that they haven't had enough experience with a chiropractor, if that's the case. There's a whole lot of studies that back up chiropractic now.
Yes.
Chiropractic for neck pain, chiropractor for back pain. So there's just a whole lot of research that there didn't used to be. And also, just to give you an idea how things have changed, like you were saying, one, I've worked with a number of medical professionals. I've worked with in the office of a primary care physician. I've had the office next door to a person that was both a neurosurgeon and a neurologist, and also at a different time the office next door to an orthopedic surgeon. So, I mean, that didn't happen back in the day.
No, it didn't.
And also, we just got x-rays in about the 60s to where we could use them legally. Now we use advanced diagnostic imaging such as MRI and CT scan, especially if someone has a disc injury or some pain that's radiating from their neck or their back into a limb, such as an arm or a leg. So things have changed a whole lot.
Dr. Black, a new respect, and you deserve it.
Well, thank you.
You deserve the respect. Let's talk a little bit about, like for instance, okay, I'm going to give you a scenario, and you tell me if you can help. Someone maybe was in a car accident 3 years ago,
right?
And they've kind of accepted that they don't move as well, maybe their neck or back hurts, and they've accepted it as a new norm. They said, there's nothing that can be done for me. What would you tell them?
Well, that new norm is one of the things that I try to deal with when people have been in a car accident. For example, before you're in the car accident, you can move your neck perfectly fine and get what we call full range of motion. But afterwards, you generally have some less if your neck was injured. And so we measure that. And if you're not careful, if you don't get treatment, that can become your new normal. And the bad thing about that is you're going to lose over time just because of the normal aging process. Right. So if you start with a normal that's less than it used to be, and then you go on 20, 30 years, just think how much you would have lost and think what you could have done if you would have taken care of it also. And that's real important because your cartilage in your spine, the disc, and the cartilage between the bones, it helps everything move better. It gets its food through movement. And so just think about it. If it doesn't move like it's supposed to, it's not going to get food like it's supposed to.
The blood flow, to be able to be more flexible, right? To be able, yes, pliable.
The chemistry, like you're saying, whatever it needs to eat, like sugar, our bodies eat a lot of glucose, for example, so we're probably talking about things like that. Also, it can't get rid of waste product because it also gets rid of waste product through movement. So anyway, you just have to look at what makes the spine do what it does, and it basically gets food and gets rid of waste through movement, which when you're in an accident, you generally lose range of motion, therefore it becomes less healthy. So my job is to go in there, move those joints, stretch those ligaments, remind them how long that they are supposed to be so that your body will move better, feed itself better, and take care of itself better.
Thank you for articulating that way. It would have been easy for you to go over my head, but you refuse to do that. Thank you very much, sir. So let's talk about the process. Someone now is watching and they're saying, okay, I want to get an appointment at my home. And the importance of being proactive. Don't wait. Don't procrastinate. Do it now. As you said, it's not going to get better unless you get an adjustment. So what should they do? How long does it take for you to visit them? I mean, I know you're pretty busy, so.
Right. Well, generally I see people either the same day or the next day. They just can give me a call or text me. And of course, Louisville area code 502. The phone number is 309-9037. And there's always the website, which has lots of videos and some shows that we've done. And that's at chiropractor2u.com, which is chiropractor with a 2 and a u.com.
Okay, I like very creative, and I think really you found, to me, not a niche, but a large hole there that really helps, because if you're hurting your back, neck, whatever the case may be, then you don't want to be in a car or traveling. Let them come to you. Chiropractor to you is what their title says they are. Dr. Black, congratulations. I think it's a great idea. I appreciate what you do. And isn't it rewarding when you walk into someone's home and you see the stairs that they couldn't formally navigate, and then after some sessions with you, suddenly they're much more mobile and they feel better. They're living life.
For sure. And you know what? A lot of people have trouble sleeping after a car accident, and so I mean, just think little things like that. If they're bothering you, when I can take somebody from all that lack of sleep, and then a few days later that they're starting to get better sleep, it is rewarding.
Oh, that means a lot. That's a good point. Dr. Todd Black, once again, Chiropractor to you. Give them a call today. Do not procrastinate.